So this is the type of activity we have going on in this hobby. I say, let's take it over.
Well, it's the nigga that's housing the scene. I got pounds of green and birds sitting on the triple beam. I put it down, on and off the record. My flats a double decker, marble floors all checkered. Now what can I say? Every bitch I lay be pure in Bombay like Peruvian gay.
My intent here is sincere in that I genuinely want to ensure that other newbies don't get burned by make-pretend experts like this who freely throw out advice with no substance or anything behind it whatsoever.
I make more deliveries than the postman. My homie Carlito plugged me with the amigos, so now it's kilos, 5 and 6 00.
Anything I can do to save you guys some money, I'm going to do it. Even if that means simply...
Next, I'm stuck like Kotex. Blinding niggas with the boogers in my Rolex. With my aces OT on a regular basis. We got probate faces fighting federal cases. Cause ain't nothing realer than niggas getting they skrilla like a gangster, a killer. And Mac will be the dope dealer.
Killer Cali is the state murder. Killer Cali is the state murder. Killer Cali is the state murder. Killer...
You know, many of the items that I'm going to discuss in this video are what you might consider old wives' tale. They've been handed down generation of Savage owners to generations, and that makes somewhat sense as long as you're not adamant about it and prevent other people from having another side of the story. But some of these, like this first one, I feel are almost straight up lies. This one has to do with offset wheels or wider track width for those that really understand setups, be it extended hub carriers, whatever. The idea is if you stretch your wheels out further than what's stock, it's going to put strain on your bearings. This comes from Jam Racer 01, the hero of this first edition of Savage Myths. You can see where multiple times he's written it and other times has become quite adamant about this. Now what happens here, so I believe, is it sounds all fancy to some people. It's going to put strain on your bearings. Ooh, I'm not going to say anything, and so it's not questioned. This is where I'm here to tell you that is complete nonsense. So let's do it this way. Okay, Jam Racer 01, how do you know? Please go ahead and you know, this time when watching my videos, instead of just hitting that dislike button as you do on every video, put a comment below. Let us all know the details on when you extended your hubs or used offset wheels. Two different things completely, by the way. And notice some form of a strain on your bearings. What were the effects? Did the outer race become bent or something? Did you reproduce it to ensure that something else didn't put strain on your bearing? You see, I fail to see how extending your axle or your hub or your carrier, any of that, can cause any sort of damage to your bearings. Same with offset wheels. Now I say this mainly because I've used offset wheels on the Savage, in addition to extended hubs, etc. Multiple times, and never once noticed a single effect whatsoever on the bearings. In fact, I might go as far as saying they lasted longer. Now, for everyone that he's scared off from getting extended hubs or offset wheels, let me tell you what the real effects are of this. And feel free to contact HPI or any manufacturer of aftermarket parts or offset wheels manufacturers and see if they don't tell you the exact same thing. Essentially what you're doing is what they call extending your track width, and that's measured axle to axle. Note, this is one of the biggest differences between a buggy and a truck. And now to take it a step further, what is the biggest difference between a truggy and a monster truck? That, of course, is the center of gravity, the ride height. So essentially what you're doing by extending the track width here of your monster truck is you're making it more proportionately like a truggy. So instead of lowering the ride height, you're extending the track width. So essentially, what widening the track width does for a vehicle is it helps prevent traction roll. All right, so it's akin to lowering the center of gravity, which, as we all know, the higher the center of gravity, the more likely you are to traction roll because you have more traction. It's very similar. Here's an analogy. A golf cart versus a go-kart. Which one is more likely to flip over? It's a golf cart because it has more traction, because it has a higher center of gravity. But what about pillow ball systems? I have multiple PBS suspension types, and they all allow you to extend the hubs on the fly. However, I've yet to see a warning from any manufacturer or any pro driver or anybody that states, caution, extending the track width will result in strain on the bearings. Now, let's take it a step further. Let's say that for some reason he's correct. You know, he's conducted some analysis he's never told us about that extends beyond a hypothesis and yields tangible results. This being, your bearings will last 3/4 of a gallon instead of a gallon. Okay. Bearings are 99 cents a piece. Oh no! I have bearing strain. I have to get another bearing. I have to shell out 99 cents. So with all this, does Jam Racer 1 know something that nobody else does? Inquiring minds want to know, so sir, please comment below. Please tell us, once again, how it causes strain on the bearings, but this time go into detail. Because I sure hope this is not yet, another piece of information you are spouting of which you know absolutely nothing about. I mean, being in the position you are as a self-proclaimed expert, that shows a lack of integrity. Don't you think? I sure do. I mean, you are affecting the way people experience this hobby. So, everyone else, you want to extend your track width, you get down on that. Go ahead, you go. Trust me, I got you. You're going to love the hell out of it. And for anyone else that's rocking their Savage with an extended track width, let us know how your bearings are doing. This is just part one I have a queue of items concerning specifically Jam Racer 01, to be honest with you. I mean, he's like the king of this stuff. I mean, he's providing me with a slew of content. So I've got probably maybe 15, 20 different, myths that he's evangelizing, that he's very adamant about and telling people about, and refuses to let anybody disagree. Well, surprise! Like I said, can I interject here? Because you better be damn sure I'm going to, regardless, if you want me to or not. My only interest here is making sure that you don't ruin the hobby for other people. I can't help but go back and think about this kid, whatever, that's saving his allowance to, to buy stuff, or some father, who's scratching and clawing, saving money so he and his son can enjoy the hobby. And you're out there doing this stuff, all but ruining it for him. Come on. To everyone else, have a great day. So with all this,